Good afternoon, guys. Well, it is here in Australia on the Gold Coast. It's early afternoon. I'm making a very cool podcast. It's been on my mind for a while. I just needed the time to do it. So I'm going to start bringing it out in segments, and it's part of All Things Health. As some podcasts are about to come out, All Things Health Travel. So I'm going into lots of different areas, but they all relate to health. So what is this podcast relating to? And what are there going to be continuations, because there is so much ground to cover? It's all things sex. Let's bring it out on the table, guys. I think sex these days, unfortunately, due to disconnection from ourselves, disconnection to each other, and so many things out there tainting our sexual want and desire, we have unfortunately become a very sexless generation. If we look back in time in the 1800s, the Italians, the English, they were having sex like bunny rabbits. So they were literally having sex all the time, and with people they got on well with, when they shared a connection. They just went to it. They didn't start putting their minds into things and what if this and what if that and this expectation and that expectation. And sex, guys, is supposed to be something very, very beautiful, and it has incredible healing effects in bringing down cortisol and stress on all levels for men and women, which then helps in so many different ways. If you were with a partner, obviously, that you love and care about, that will obviously also heighten the relationship and expand the relationship. But even if you aren't in a relationship and you just come across an individual that you just get on really well with, and there's that chemistry, guys, if the chemistry is there, just go for it. Please try to get out of your mind, and this is what we'll start talking about at this beginning stage at the moment. The things holding us back. A lot of it is teachings, or maybe our parents just weren't open enough to talk about sex, and everything was quiet and hush, and you're not supposed to do that, or you're not supposed to do this. And it causes through time dysregulation, disbelief in yourself, and that sex is something naughty or something you shouldn't be doing, or you should only be doing under only certain circumstances. So it confides it into a box, and that box is just so hard to deal with that this is why we're having so much dysregulation. Also, and it's a big part, religion of most sorts. All this stuff, unfortunately, guys, and I have to say it, it's absolute rubbish. You were born with sin and you were born with this. If that was the case, guys, let's, all the people on the planet forever that have come and gone, do you think it was all under, we were married, everything was great, now we can have sex, it's not sinful now? There'd be no people on this planet. So then, if you think about it logically, if that's what was needed, so why does, when a man and a woman meet, but we're not just covering man and woman, we're covering woman and woman, because it's very beautiful. If a woman finds another woman attractive and they get together, awesome. What a great chemistry. Or if a woman finds a man and a woman attractive and they get together, one at a time, or even all three of them, how great is that, guys? It's something they're sharing, and it's awesome. But as I was talking about, there'd be nobody on this planet. And then if we're just quickly, but I'm not going to go into the politics of religion, because it's a bunch of rubbish. If there was something dictating, I'm going to give life, think of all the people who just got together because they're just very, very horny. They were good people. They weren't contemplating something bad to come out of it, but they just got together and they had a child. Why was the energy of so-called the higher being give them the spark of life if it didn't fall into the constriction of, you're not married? Wouldn't you think that energy would just go, no, I'm not allowing this, not happening? So guys, religion, it's played such a toll on so many poor individuals who either went into it at some stage of their life or were born into it. And that indoctrination is just, even when they do eventually allowed to be married under the circumstances, everything is, we shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be putting my husband's penis in my mouth. That's a sin. I shouldn't be licking my girlfriend's vagina and pussy. That's a sin. Everything's a sin. So then when they're trying to get together, all this is playing in the back of their mind, and it's just like, it's going to make them dysfunctional. Problems obviously reaching orgasms and erections, connections, and so forth. So the first part, guys, if you can, and I know it's not an easy process, because I actually came out of a religion and it took me a long time to see that its indoctrinations were everything that was counter life, counter love, counter freedom, counter goodness. So it took me a long time, guys, to come out of that too myself. But when I was younger, I didn't have those constructs, even though I came from religion, but I wasn't so heavily bombarded by it. And I've got to say, in those early days, and plus obviously as you age, certain things don't work as well, but you have more maturity, which is a positive. But it was the greatest, freest time because you didn't have all those constricts on the back of your mind and so forth going on. And when you engaged with a person, oh my goodness, it was absolutely awesome. All your bodies connecting, there's tingling everywhere, the connection, the chemistry, the words, you can just talk to each other freely. Doesn't matter if it sounds a bit naughty, it's fine. The eye contact, the energy as the partner's coming and you keep your eyes on them. How beautiful. So you've really need to, if that's the area you want to go into, to make these areas of your life, sex for yourself, sex with a partner, sex with your partner, great. You just need to start slowly but surely putting them out of your mind because they're not going to allow you to flow. Sometimes easier said than done. So we'll go into the next step, and it's an easy step. But let's say for a man, he has, due to whatever reasons, and there are a lot of reasons, guys, but I'm going to cover things we can do that will improve sex very quickly, very easily, and on beautiful levels. So the first step, let's go for man. A man obviously might have penis erection problems. It could be a lot of things. It could be the things I just spoke about. It could be his hormone levels are out of whack. It could be toxicity and so forth. So you go to the doctor and you tell him, and what does he automatically or she do? They give you Viagra or Cialis. Both obviously bring oxygen into your penis, which then helps get an erection. Does it always work? No, not if your mind or is in those areas or you've had abuse, because that abuse is always playing in the back of your mind. So it's not allowing you to freely enjoy. So you can get as much oxygen as you want into your penis. It might get an erection, but even then there's not going to be the desire there. So the two need to be together, the desire and the erection, obviously. But anyway, they give Viagra, they give Cialis. If I had my choice, I would use Cialis. It just has better outcomes than Viagra. But then a woman, let's say, goes to her GP and says, I would like something because just not feeling the spark lately. I would like to feel the spark for myself. I'd like to feel the spark with my partner or partners, and I'm just not feeling it. What can you do to help me? There is nothing for women. There we go. I don't know, lady. Sorry, this book of writing, pharmaceutical stuff is out of whack. There's nothing here, sorry. So what can be used to help you overcome some of these boundaries? First of all, if you're with someone or a partner or partners, please talk to each other if there is some dysregulation. Just be honest, just talk. Just say, hey, I'm having issues. I would really like those issues to be resolved because I'm missing out, but you're missing out. And it's not fair that you're missing out maybe because of something I'm not feeling or doing, and I want to fix that because sex is such a great part of our lives, and it should be done a lot more than we're currently seeing. And statistically worldwide, sex is going down due to sex drive, due to so many issues around the world, and it's happening on a grand level, but let's not go into that at the moment. So let's talk. So you talk. Hopefully your partner or partners will want to listen, or just put their walls down and just listen and be willing to exchange, what's going on, and I'd like to help, and so forth. If both parties or 3 parties or 5 parties come together and go, I really want to make it work, I'm sorry you were feeling that way, I didn't really realize, at least there's that communication between them where everything's brought down to an ease and there's no expectations. There's no expectations. They have to go for hours. They have to perform great styles. It's just, I'm trying to get back there. Man or woman. Woman or woman, man or man, or 3 or 4 partners. Now, let's just say, for sakes now, it's 2 people. This thing I'm about to introduce is a great thing. It helps greatly. But I would like it to be used with you guys as re-engaging. So what you would do, you would be romantic with each other. And obviously I'll quickly go through dynamics because this is a lot of controversy, or I should say conflict between man and woman a lot. Men are very visual. Our biology is very, very visual. Everything that starts with a man or woman mainly starts in the hypothalamus, which is in the center of the brain. It's the activity center of creating, feeling of sex and a lot of other functions, but that's where sex starts. So if there's something obstructing it from outside the boxes, religion, abuse, and so forth, how do we overcome it? Or we've lost that spark with our partner due to being stressed, not enough time for each other, and so forth. A man, like I was saying, he's very quick. So once his partner shows him some signs, hopefully in a nice way where she or he will turn them on, he will engage with, as long as obviously he's healthy, he'll engage erection in under a minute. Visual, erection, bang. Woman, and this is just the way a woman's biology is, and it's beautiful, she, on most terms, will need up to 10 minutes to visualize, but it's before visualize, she needs to feel safe in her partners. If she feels that safe environment, then it will allow things to progress, and then she can visually start feeling things. But with a woman, she has to feel safe. She has to feel touch, and that's why I was saying, when you come together, if you can make a romantic night and get naked in front of each other, make a little picnic on the floor, have some candles, have a nice blanket, sit in front of each other or lay in front of each other or stand in front of each other naked and stare into each other's eyes and exchange words that bring feelings of safety, of I desire you, I want you, and I want us and myself to have that sexual spark and that beautiful feeling again. That's what I'm trying to engage before we go into things that will help. This product will help, but doing this as a couple or couples will make things get better much quicker because you've created a safety net, and a woman needs more time. So with a man, please, with your women, just let her know. Buy her a gift, not just for the day. Buy her a gift or some nice words in the morning, or leave her a note, or send her a text message. I love you, I'm thinking of you, so forth. So then she's always got that understanding, I'm safe, I'm number one. And then on that day, as you get together, naked, start touching each other. And then go back to a time when your sexual energy was high. It might have been when you were just getting together, and there's many reasons why the initial stages, because of chemical reactions released in your brain, that the sexual exploration and explosion is so much greater for a period of time, and then it lowers itself due to a lot of factors, and because the relationship is coming out of the initial stage. But in those times, you must have had great sex. So just talk about it. Oh, do you remember when you did that for me? You remember when you dressed up? Do you remember when you got those sex toys and started using it yourself in front of me and it really turned me on? You remember those words and the tone you used with me? Replay them, because then that helps the hypothalamus replay the feeling and the sensation that you had back then, which then will help to bring it back now with then new actions and new outcomes. That's why this is very, very important. And if one partner's not on board, it's just not going to work. And it'll be a shame for partners or partners more that they'll miss out on each other because one wants it, one wants to fix it, the other one just not interested and I don't care. And that's why I'm saying this needs to happen for anyone. And a woman, as she's touched and stroked and held, and she smells you, you smell her. As that time goes in within those minutes, as she gets there and you touch her more gently, you touch her nipples, you touch her vagina, you just kiss her, you caress her, you kiss her neck, you hold her. It gives her time as a woman biologically to warm up. And as she gets there, then you can start to move forward. And obviously with a man and a woman, then at some point, penetration, but it'd be nice that you guys played with each other, used oral, used your tongues, used your fingers, used toys. Just explore, and no expectations, and there's no time limits, or I've given you 5 minutes, your 5 minutes is up, I would like my 5 minutes. Just be and put everything out of the equation. So this is very, very important with man, woman and couples, even a woman and woman, and obviously a man and man, but like I said, men are very quick. But if it's a man and a woman, you need to contemplate, because biologically you are different. So I know sometimes you will compromise, and that's great. Both should compromise at different times. Like one time, let's just say the man's really, 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 really ready. The woman's not so ready, but she understands because they've put things in place. I understand, let's get into it. And then he goes, okay. And then a man will know a lot of the times, I've just got to make her feel safe and loved and appreciated. And then as she warms up and she reaches her level, then the doors are going to open and exploration and great sexual fantasy and role play and so forth can carry out. So now, what can be done to help if there's obviously dysregulation, there's trauma or past hurts, the spark has gone due to life and being busy. That's the first thing, and I'd like to introduce a product. So I've talked through all things health in other parts of peptides, You probably won't see, I've tried looking at it before to see if the camera will adjust. I don't think it will. It's very small. It's like a 3 ml vial. So this product is a peptide. A peptide is amino acids that are naturally occurring in our body, put into a sequence that, like a songwriter writes these songs and it has different notes, and the right notes equal this product. So there's no drugs, and it's not just getting oxygen into your penis and then your penis gets an erection but has no feelings with it, because it's just a mechanism. It's called PT-141, and it has been around for a long time, guys. Very cool. If you both talk about things, as I said, and then you role play by being together naked and touching each other and making each other feel welcome and having candles and so forth around, this product will help any blockages that you feel emotionally or through traumas or through back of your mind religion saying, oh, it's a sin, or this is naughty, or this is so forth. It will help shut that out. It works for men and women. It works on the hypothalamus, which is the center of the brain, but the center of that brain then, once the chemical reaction of this, and I'll in a second go through how we do it, how we inject it and so forth, it's injectable. But don't panic, we're not talking about big whooping needles like in movies, you know. It's a tiny diabetic needle. So what would I recommend? I would recommend, if you're using PT-141, and most of the PT-141s come in 5 milligrams. The milligrams helps us to understand how much we need to draw out to inject on the strength. So it's 5 mils, and I'll go through that in a sec. But what it does, if you were going to have intercourse and you're planning it for that night because you talked about it, or you don't always have to plan for it at night. It doesn't have to be a nighttime thing. It doesn't have to be a bedroom thing. Morning thing. Hey, morning thing. Hey, we're out somewhere. There's nobody around for miles. It's outside. How cool. Kind of risque, but we feel comfortable with each other. Let's do it in the morning. Let's do it at lunch. Hey, we're at someone else's house, but we know they're out for the next couple of hours. Let's get it on. It doesn't always have to be conformed to nighttime in your bedroom. So what would I recommend? Because women take longer, I would recommend both man and woman to have it, I would say 2 hours early. 2 hours. And then obviously you'll go into that role. Maybe you'll have dinner first, and then you'll have breakfast, or you'll be outside with nature having a picnic, and it's beautiful and you just want to get naked and you get together. But have it 2 hours before, because it's going to start working in the hypothalamus, and both men and women, that is the center of fantasies coming alive, fantasies being able to just, without obstruction, to be created, and the sensation, because that's where the sexual chemistry starts. All the tingling in the body comes alive without contradiction, without compel of this and that, because this part is helping override it. And then as it engages more and more and you get into having sex with each other and kissing and oral, then both for men and women, men, it gives great erections, but it gives great want and desire and fire through their whole body, through a man's nipples, through a woman's nipples, through your arms, through your legs, through your genitals, and he'll have a great erection because everything is working. And the same as a woman. The woman will have greater orgasms and sensitivity into her clitoris or her pussy, and she'll orgasm better and more frequently. How long does it last? It can last up to, guys, 24 hours. Doesn't mean you have to keep it engaged, but if you like 2-3 hours later, it will bring the urge on and you just both will be free to explore without bias, without so forth. That, as I was saying, guys, before I got interrupted by my camera, believe it or not, my 4K camera, I got, I think, maybe overexcited and it melted down its little circuitry and it had a shutdown. But no, I don't think it was that, but I just thought I'd bring in some humour, guys. Apparently it's too hot and it overheated due to climate and possibly the conversation. So I had to cool it down just when I was on a roll, but that's all cool. So we'll continue on, and I got the aircon on so it can keep cool and I can relay the information. So what we're up to, we're up to the incredible product. As I was saying, it is PT-141 and it is a peptide. It's made up of amino acid sequences and it plays the right song. And this one is playing the sex song. And it's the PT, in my version, is the personal trainer for sex, for yourself, for your partner, for each other, for if there's 2 or 3 of you, it's the one who's going to guide you through the things. So, as I was saying, I would take it 2 hours beforehand, not because a woman takes a while, and then you can enjoy it. But a man could take it 10 minutes beforehand and a woman 2 hours, but just have it 2 hours because it's going to last a while and you're going to have some great fun with it. So I've covered the aspects of it. Now, what do we do? So you can contact me, guys, and obviously I work with individuals with a lot of different biological issues, and I've had with a lot of them great results in very short periods. Doesn't matter what it is. I just have a lot of understanding and I have a kind and caring heart, so I'm actually feeling the person who's speaking to me, not just seeing them as a product or something I have to get in and out just to make some money. So PT-141, you contact me, guys, and if it's a couple, if it's an individual, and you're obviously coming from sincere backgrounds, we can talk and so forth, and I'll help you to know what and where to get PT-141 without upsetting any institutions. So it'll come to you, it'll come in a vial. They're always this size. They come with some powder in it, which obviously is the peptide, but obviously you're not going to inject powder and air. So it has to be reconstituted. So the peptide as a powder comes alive as our body does, and our body only functions because we're mainly made up of water. You have to put water into it. Now, we're not just talking about water from the tap or purified water, guys. We're actually talking about something called backwater, bacterial static water. It's a special water that doesn't have and allow germs or bacteria to grow as time progresses into your peptide. So you have to use backwater. You can get it from a lot of online places that deal with health supplements. It's not severely expensive. I always recommend get a 30 ml because it's going to last a while. If you've got other peptides or in the future you want to reconstitute more peptides, 30 mils is going to last you a long time, and you just keep it in the fridge. So how do we reconstitute it? Well, guys, I would go to your chemist, and if you don't want to order, it's called a Sharps pack. Most chemists in Australia have a Sharps pack. Sharps pack is injecting whatever it may be, but they'll have 3 mil, 5 mil syringes, and they'll have all different size gauge needles. So most chemists, you'll be able to go to and ask for a 23 gauge needle and a 3 mil. So then if you don't want to have a whole box full of needles and you don't need that many, just order the 2. This will turn into this. Most of them, they screw on. And then, pretty easy, I like 3 mil because most peptide vials will only allow 3 mils of bacterial static water to be put into them. So it's pretty simple. And I like this, obviously, because it's 3 mils. I don't have to worry about a 5 mil and pulling it to the 3 mil, site. So you just take your time, guys. You get your 3 mil out. And I'm just obviously reenacting it, but at least you can understand and know how to reconstitute. So we have 3 mils of bacterial static water. We have a vial. It's not PT-141, it's an empty one, but at least I'm showing you what to do. Every peptide vial will come with a seal. It's a little metal seal. You'll peel it off. It'll have a rubber grong on it that obviously allows you to be able to draw from the needle and keep the stuff inside it fresh. What do you do with your PT-141 once it's reconstituted? You keep it in the fridge. It will last up to 3 months when it's reconstituted, and keep it in a dark setting. So obviously the fridge makes a lot of light when you open and close it. Just put it in something or wrap some tissues around in a little container and keep it in the fridge because it has to stay cool. But anyway, we've peeled it. We've got our powder. Most of them are vacuum sealed, guys. That means as soon as you put your water, it's going to want to pull the water into itself without you even touching and pushing down on the needle. So I always hold onto it to a certain degree because peptides are very sensitive. You can't just throw them around and, oh, yay, it'll stuff them up. So I always do that because it's usually, most bottles are just like waiting for something to go in. And as soon as you do, like soon as you break through, it starts pulling it through. So that's why I hold on. And what you want to do, guys, is restrain it from just pouring in. You want that water to go in slowly, guys. Very, very slowly. So then as it's touching and hitting the powder, it's just dropping onto it, not just flooding into it and the powder's just flying everywhere. It's very fragile. So you just want to take your time. If it takes 2-3 minutes, guys, you just take your time and just push it in until it'll be probably not way up to the top, but it'll be pretty much full. So what is the dosage recommendations, guys? As I was saying with PT-141, an adult and a woman, well, both obviously adults, men and women, will also have the same dosage. There's not a dosage for man or a dosage for woman. What is the dosage at full strength? It's 1.75 mg. We're not talking about mils because obviously it's a 3 mil, so it's not even going to last 2 individuals, 1 vial. So it's mg. This is the high-end recommended dosage for man and woman. Do I recommend you go straight to 1.75? No, I don't, guys. And it's not spoken about in any forums or very, very little podcasts and forums. I would recommend starting both on a low dose at least 2 times. And you don't have it any more than 3 times a week. 2 is sufficient. Any more, your body will become desensitized to it. So it's really a beautiful reshaper and modulator of feeling and wanting and being able to get past the barriers so you both can enjoy sex in so many levels. So you can have it twice a week safely, pushing it 3 times, but I wouldn't go there. And you just have it, that continue. You can have it twice every week, guys. So as I was saying, it's 1.75 mg, not mils. So how do you work out this mg, or as in a lot of peptides, it's called mcg? You get online, you just get a peptide calculator. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to register your email. The one I use is J. Campbell, peptide calculator. So it'll come up and it'll say milligram of your vial, 5 milligrams. How much bacterial water you're putting in there, 3 milligrams. What size needle are you using? And that's up to you guys, and we'll go through that in a second. This is a 0.5. It's a diabetic needle. Why do I like it? It's the width of your hair, and it's only tiny, and we're talking about sub-Q injections, guys. So you can safely do it in the middle of your shoulder where there's lots of fat, or guys, you just grab fat around your stomach, you pinch it, and then you put it in. You can do it for each other if you're worried about needles in different areas. The shoulders are very good. Different areas of your stomachs will have ouchies, and other parts you won't even feel it go in. You get this obviously from your chemist. There's 0.5 mil diabetic syringes. You get a pack of 10 for $5 if I'm correct from any chemist. And this is what we're going to use. How do we then get it from the vial to this? I always recommend, guys, using a little sterile plate, little dish that's sterile. You wipe it out with an alcohol wipe as you would pre-injection with your skin. I would use the 1 mil syringe, and you can also use the 1 mil syringe on yourself, but I don't know if the camera can see that fine of needles. It is twice the length, just about in length, and a little bit thicker. I'd rather go smaller, guys, but if and when you work your way up to 1.75, guys, as we put, as I said, 3 mils of water in there, it's 5 mils. We're doing the peptide calculator. 5 mil vial, 3 mil syringe, 3 mil backwater, and then we're using a 0.5. And how much would you want to use the first time? 250 mcg. We don't want to go straight to 1.75, guys. Why? If you've ever used something like NAD or NAD injections or infusions, which help with your cells to work on an incredible level, it causes a feeling like it's an overwhelming feeling. It's like an adrenaline rush, but in the wrong way. Not that you're going to die, but it's just like too overpowering for your senses. Like, wow. Men and women usually both will feel it. A woman will be more sensitive to it. That's why I always recommend your first 2 times, you're going to hook up 250 mcgs. So you're going to use this one, the bigger one, 1 mil. You can also get that from your chemist, guys. They're 1 mil syringes. They're usually pink or yellow. They've just got a bigger tip. It will be good enough and big enough to break through the little prong there to draw out the substance. So how much is it on our 0.5 syringe? It's only 250 and it goes up to 50. It's only 25. 25, it's a small dose. You're going to do that the first 2 times you want to connect together to help the hypothalamus understand this is what's going on and to help it adjust. You still will get some sensation, there's no doubt about it, and you'll get pleasure from it, but it's not going to overload the senses where the first experience you have will be overwhelming because it's like an overstimulation of adrenaline. And then you want to, but you just can't overdo all that feeling of, whoa. So that's why do that. And then the next time, guys, there's no rush. The third time, go up to 50, which will be 500 mcgs. We're nowhere near the 1.75 yet, but then you do your 50 and just see how you both feel. Did you reach your point? You're still a little bit off. And then you'll know, or you've reached your point. You go, hey, I'm feeling it fully. This is awesome. If you don't, guys, you would go to your 1 mil syringe and it'll have on the J. Campbell peptide calculator, 0.3 syringe, 0.5, 1 mil. You'll draw a whole mil, which is right to the end, which is 1 mil, 1.0. And obviously same thing, you'll put it into your shoulder or any fatty area and you'll slowly put it in and massage the area so it disperses, guys. I would just work my way up, guys. If you want to go to 1.75, well, then you've covered 1 mil. And then the next time you're going to go up to 70, which is 1.7 or 1.75. But work your way up. There's no rush, and please start on 250 mcgs, which on your 0.5 diabetic needle is only going to be up to 25, and do that at least twice so your hypothalamus can relay and put in what it needs to so it can up the dosage and enjoy it with other just hitting in one big hit, which is a big no-no with PT-141 because it could put you off it. Will it work? It will work greatly. Do I know it backfires? Yes, because I've made the same mistake. Not that I went straight to 1.75, but I just went to a higher dose. I was not too bad, but I did feel that kind of sensation of adrenaline kind of rush, and it's a hard feeling to explain. I breathe through it and I understand how to regulate it with my body and my brain. My partner, being a lady, she's more sensitive. It was kind of overwhelming, but then after quite a while, her sexual desire was so strong, it overthrew the sensation of being overwhelmed, and it was like just two people on fire, sexual fire, just clashing together, and they just want each other, and there's no barriers because it's just, you just want to fulfill the fantasy and the touching and the arousal and the sensation and the orgasm, which is cool. So that's how, guys, that's how you do it. This will help a lot with a lot of dysregulations because, as I said, the hypothalamus and the way PT-141, it helps to put those things aside and reopen the doors of imagination, of creativity, of doing, of success, and overdoing guilt and so forth. So this is my first part, guys, on all things sex. There are many other cool things and products that really work, and ways of partners working together that will bring great sexual harmony into each other, into the individual, and also into couples, or even 2 or 3 couples, and whatever the sex may be. We'll also possibly, and we will, as time goes on, can sexual arousal be stimulated as long as a partner or partners enjoys possibly watching someone online who does cams. Why not, guys? If that turns you on and you feel safe, porn, used in the right way, and it both turns you on and it gets the chemistry going. There's so many cool aspects. I want to just bring out the words penis, cock, vagina, pussy, obviously sucking your husband or your partner's penis, a man licking his woman's vagina, pussy, putting your fingers inside it. I just want to desensitize you so then as I'm saying things, you're not going, oh, and it can happen. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I want to bring out the words so then at least we can talk and feel at ease around sexual talk and not be uptight, and bring harmony back into your life, into your partner's life, into your partner's life, and really look forward to every time you're going to have sex. This is great. Love it. All fires are burning, and PT-141 starts the fire where it's supposed to be, works its way down the hormone line, through your nipples, through your stomach, through your genitals, blood flow, orgasms. It's the full package, and it's so cool, and it works both on man and woman. So that's the end of this first talk, all things sex. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back for another episode to talk about